Hello everyone, my name is Rainer and welcome to Rainierbooks. Welcome to my booktube channel. How are you doing? I'm doing quite well. I have worked 3 days this week. There are 2 days to go and then time for another bit longer weekend because we have the Pentecost weekend which is coming, which gives us a free Monday, not in Sweden but in Germany because I have a German employer and we are granted the Pentecost Monday as a free day. So I'm looking forward to that because I hope that I'm going to be able to read more than usual. Today I give you a book haul. I have bought a couple of books again. I buy books all the time. 5 books in print and 5 books on my electronic reader that I'm going to talk about a little bit today. So let's get started. The first book I already talked about in my video about 10 novels about pandemics that you should or could read under this ongoing pandemic. This is from Montreal, this is from Canada, a country where I really like to read books from. It's a little bit that I specialize on Canadian literature. I'm always looking for Canadian authors to find, and I'm glad that I found Emily St.John Mandel, and her novel is Station 11. This is not her newest novel. Her newest novel is The Glass Hotel that has been published in the United States, that some fellow booktubers have already talked about, but that I'm not able to talk about because The Glass Hotel will be published in the United Kingdom and in Europe these days or weeks. It hasn't been published yet, but nevertheless, Station 11 is about an opera singer in Toronto, Canada, who dies on stage during a performance, and it turns out that he has died of an infectious disease. Many people get infected, not only in Toronto, but all over the country, and there's an apocalyptic situation, and Station 11 deals mainly with the time after that outbreak of that disease. So Station 11 by Emily St.John Mandel I got the paperback edition. I love hardbacks more than paperbacks, but the hardback wasn't anymore on sale, so I had to be satisfied with the paperback edition. Let's get to another book, which is also some kind of paperback. I think this was published in paperback. Originally, it was a sensation in the country where it comes from. It's about a woman born in 1982, living in a society that is very unequal between men and women. And I don't know if you can guess where it comes from. It's a novel called Kim Jiyoung, born 1982. Kim Jiyoung, born 1982. Beautiful cover. You see there's a faceless person here with only hair and a dress. And you don't see her face. And the reason why you don't see her face is that she is every woman. It's beautifully described here on the last page. This says, Kim Jiyoung is a girl born to a mother whose in-laws wanted a boy. Kim Jiyoung is a sister made to share a room while her brother gets one of his own. Kim Jiyoung is a daughter whose father blames her when she is harassed at night. Kim Jiyoung is a model employee who gets overlooked for promotion. Kim Jiyoung is a wife who gives up her career and independence for a life of domesticity. Kim Jiyoung has started acting strangely. Kim Jiyoung is depressed. Kim Jiyoung is mad. Kim Jiyoung is her own woman. Kim Jiyoung is every woman. That sounds very strong. This book has sold 1 million copies in South Korea. It was a literary sensation in her homeland, and it has come to, it has now been given out in an English translation, luckily, and I can't wait to read this. Kim Jiyoung's life. Kim Jiyoung, born in 1982 by South Korean author Nam-Joo. Now we come to some hardcover copies. The first one is a very small, very tiny one. It's very, like 200 grams, a little more than a box of chocolate. maybe it is a book to struggle. I know that it's a book that many people have already said very beautiful things about on different booktube channels. I read reviews of this novel. It has been praised all over, and this must be gorgeous, it must be beautiful, it must be tremendous. The author is Jenny Offill, and the novel is called Weather. Weather is something that we always talk about, don't we? When we don't know what to talk about, you can always say, what do you think about the weather? Or how's the weather in New York? How's the weather in Tokyo? If you talk to someone in a different place. How's the weather in Tokyo? Have you seen my t-shirt? Yeah, I hope so. Weather is about a woman in the United States. Her name is Lizzie Benson. And Lizzie Benson works as a librarian. She is not educated as a librarian. She works as a librarian when a friend of her, whose name is Sylvie or Sylvia, comes to her and suggests to her to work for her and for a podcast. She's doing a podcast about weather. And, well, Lizzie agrees. She's taking the job. She's working. Lizzie takes the job, and she is responding to what viewers, or what listeners of the podcast come in with their emails, with their voicemails, whatever reactions they have to the podcast. And the reactions are harsh. The reactions are super harsh. They are, from the left side, very critical about climate change. They see the end of the world. And from the right side, people say that climate change is a hoax. It was invented by the Chinese. You know the story. So what Weather shows actually is a super divided country in a super divided world. Jenny Offill writes beautiful sentences. She's also a deft curator of silences, says Ben Lerner here. It's this counterpoint of eloquence and felt absence that enables her to register the emotional and political weather of our present, says Ben Lerner about Jenny Offill's very short novel, Weather, which goes about like 200, I think exactly 201 pages. Book number, A Story of the American West is the next one, and many booktubers have praised this book already, and I received it last week, so I praise it today. I kind of praise it too because I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read it definitely because it's very interesting to me. It's called How Much of These Hills Are Gold by C.Pam Zhang. It's a novel about the exploration of the American West in the 19th century. Two girls from, I think with Asian background, they come to the American West. They have only their father left. The mother has died. And their father dies as well. And it's Lucy and Sam. I think Lucy and Sam? Yes, Lucy and Sam take the body of their father and want to bury him in the American West, where they all wanted to go to start a new life. And they get in the middle of the gold rush in the American West. And this book is about family, identity, and the American dream, of course, and the new frontier in the West. And Garth Greenwell, I think, Garth Greenwell has said this exhilarating novel unweaves the myths of the American West and offers in their place a gorgeous, broken, soulful, feral song of family and yearning, origin and earth. C.Pam Zhang is a brilliant, fearless writer. This book is a wonder, says Garth Greenwell. And I might contrast this together with All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy that I'm going to read pretty soon. You know, the book that won the Man Booker Prize in the 1990s and which has been called the last novel about the American West, or the myths of the American West. So this is another novel about maybe similar things. I have to find it out, and I'm going to tell you about it in the future. I have a memoir as the fifth hard copy book that I received from the United Kingdom last week. And this is a memoir from California. Anna Wiener, Uncanny Valley. Anna Wiener is a young woman who was 25 years old when she decided to leave New York City, where she was working and living. She wanted to have something new. She wanted to test something new. So she traveled to California, to San Francisco, and got a job as a data analyst in one of the big startups of the data industry in Silicon Valley. where the future is being shaped, as many people say. And she found out that the life in Silicon Valley was much different than she expected it to be. Lots of sexism. 92% of the employees of those companies were men at the time she was there, and there was a very harsh and strange way of living for them there. And I think Wiener uncovers the reality of the dream. And maybe another story about the American dream. Maybe this is comparable to How Much of These Hills Are Gold as well, because we have another American traveling about 110 years later than the two sisters, Lucy and Sam, to the American West to start a new life. Gia Tolentino has written it's a beautiful blurb, Searching Bird's Eye. She says, Searching Bird's Eye study of an industry and a generation, as well as an intimate, microscopic portrait of ambition and hope and dread. Gia Tolentino, Uncanny Valley is the book by Anna Wiener.